southeast as well. So seek shelter up here this morning. This is one of those storms that, again, could still produce a big tornado and a strong one if it does drop. Not sure if it's going to, but it very easily still
This is where you got your...
Yep.
A very favorable environment for strong long-track tornadoes. And so far, this one hasn't for a while, but it is still rotating, very rapidly to the east. So we can seek shelter if you are in this tornado. Seasonal this year, I think it'll be above average. About hard to believe it'll be above average. Back up near Lakeview Heights and Sideway, that one's still broadly rotating. Not really seeing a whole lot of this storm anymore. The level of rotation is very weak. You might have a little bit more rotation aloft. We have strong rotation aloft in the storm. If we go up a few tilts, you can actually see stronger rotation in the mid-levels, just south 564. But generally speaking, near the surface, this is really weak rotation.
We're here at Lowe's. We got to gas up real quick. We've got this tornado warning supercell line of storm coming right at us.
And then, again, still potential for a tornado as this runs into a sideways slump and drop. Also known for Velocity up Discord. We do have a Discord. The link is in the description. At 9 o'clock this evening, only about 25 minutes ago, we actually had an 82-mile-per-hour wind gust measured at Louisville International Airport. So this line of storms right now moving through Frankfurt and LaGrange is producing significant damaging winds right now, moving in the direction of Lexington. And we still have some broad rotation right now, sitting along I-65 and just west of I-65. Accurate or not, but apparently, according to people using a private radar, there is a very large tornado debris signature on our storm near Russell Springs. So we may have a tornado right now in progress near Russell Springs. And if we do, this is likely going to be a rain-wrapped tornado moving towards Nancy and Somerset. Now, we're kind of going off of limited information here, but that would obviously be a big concern here. It's a very discrete supercell, and if that is true, again, velocities have been very strong here for quite some time. This could be a significant tornado going towards Van Bush, Nancy, and Oil Center, and Somerset. Private radar that is operated by a private company. That's basically what that is. It's not the National Weather Service. It's like something else. It's like a local company that has a radar. So we'll see if we get a debris signature on any of these radar sites. Again, we don't have any sort of clear radar view on this, since it isn't a radar hold, but nonetheless, get a debris signature from any distance. I mean, it would be pretty clear on radar here. Very strong rotation, though, for sure, with E-lines. We're rotating like this for quite some time now. The Russell Springs, Kentucky, north of Monticello. Storm will be going in the direction of London and Corbin. It's again a very discrete supercell. On any of the radar sites here, or if we get some sort of coordinated from emergency management. I don't have it. There's no CC signature or any CC drop. It says at the 9:30.
I got gas all on my hand.
Okay.
All three radar sites that are close by. Velocities are really strong right now, right along highway.
He said, we got a tornado coming, his phone started going off.
Okay.
I said, yep, right there.
Here, I have another wipe for you.
Right now, just southeast of Hopkinsville for a little tornado debris signature. It's just popped up on radar. So a tornado is now in progress. Southeast of Hopkinsville. So a embedded tornado in our line of thunderstorms. It's currently moving in the direction of Pembroke and Fairview. So this might be a quick tornado, but it just dropped here on the latest scan. A little EDM signature, meaning a tornado debris signature here. Coming up on Pembroke. Progress could be strong with this environment, so make sure that you're in your safe place away from windows on the lowest floor possible. Might be on your Madisonville. I'm not very confident about that one. That looks more like here.
Need a card?
It is here. Oh, it is here. This storm is coming in. That man said, we got a tornado coming. His phone started going off with tornado warning. I said, yep, right there on your phone.
90-mile-per-hour damaging winds. We have 90-mile-per-hour damaging winds right now.
You might want to put these in your phone.
Across the Hopkinsville area.
Did you take?
Quick. 68.
Can I get some?
Yeah.
So this is now one for 90
I could hand you some, but you...
That is a very high wind warning.
God, I'm soaked.
You need more of your pills?
No, I got it. Oh my God. I believe it's got at least 90-mile-an-hour winds in it.
Which is an extremely dangerous situation. Extremely dangerous situation currently for those near Pembroke, Fairview, Liberty, here in southern Kentucky. The tornado that we just had near Pembroke looks like that it's occluded.
Pembroke,
already.
where's that at?
That's where we are. It's just
That
occluded.
is no longer on the ground, but we just had a brief tornado there.
Just touched down south of it.
Might still get another one. It's got multiple areas of rotation right here. And then the velocities on radar are currently being measured just outside of Pembroke at about 80 miles per hour. Even some pockets of 90-mile-per-hour winds being measured on radar. This is still a very significant storm right now. Southeast of Hopkinsville.
Here. You said we might have another tornado here.
I can believe it.
Look here.
I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side.
The private radar site that has tornado debris sensors in the city, but I'm still not seeing anything cool on radar that would indicate that.
Tell me when I...
You could keep going on the other side now.
Look at.
So apparently we just had a tornado touchdown right here next to the Loves. We may have another one.
You're asking where we are.
We're at Hopkinsville, Kentucky, right here at
Near Pembroke.
Pembroke, near Fort Campbell, where this tornado must have touched down. We've got probably 40-mile-an-hour gusts here now.
This is a extremely dangerous situation. We're heading towards Russellville, which not right your screen is Russellville, there's a lot of lightning with a lot of storms.
Wow.
We've had heavy tornadoes in this line here over the last several minutes. We just had a tornado moments ago there near Pembroke. May have a new tornado trying to form here back over on the east side of Pembroke, coming up on Fresh Shop in Elkton, going towards Zion.
I need to get on, I need to go down to Guthrie and cut across. Get me over Trenton. Point me to Trenton. Hurry.
Mostly talking about 60-mile-per-hour winds and north south. I know there's a lot of warnings here, but besides there's always now when it comes to our severe warnings, talks about 60-mile-per-hour winds. In this case,
Take your next right out of the
Here, get ready, huh?
Do we get on the 24s?
Yeah, right up here.
Or is he blocking the road?
I don't know what he's doing. Something's on the road.
well,
Oh,
it looks
okay.
like we have
Roll
a
your window
significant
down.
tornado. Ron, you want to try to verify that back
Hey, they just had a tornado just north of here, and you're going to get 90-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, we actually have full verification. So the private radar
Let
site
that.
was right. We have a large tornado in progress right now. That is a large tornado.
They're chasing another one right now.
Going into Fairbush, Nancy, Ringgold, also in the direction of Somerset and Ferguson and Oak Hill. This is a fairly populated area that's currently in the path of this tornado. So if you are in this warning, you've got to be in your safe place. Get away from windows, lowest floor possible.
We are soaked. Police are back there. Blue is
large tornado.
so stuff's already blocking the highway here. If you don't have to get out on the highway until these storms pass, if you're in the Hopkinsville area, you need to wait. Should I went there?
Yeah, you were supposed to go into 24 East.
Ah, crap.
Oh my goodness, I think we're going to get a PDS. That debris signature is even larger. That right there is a debris signature. Keep in mind that we are looking at a radar.
Okay, we got a tornado on the ground here just north of Hopkinsville.
It's really called a WAP here. And the fact of the matter is, it's looking really high up in the atmosphere. So this is a very significant tornado. Despite this not being, it may be nearly as crazy.
If you're anywhere in the Hopkinsville area, Trenton, Russellville, Kentucky, there's a tornado on the ground. Your way.
Any friends or family
Clear
in
my
this
way.
line, please make sure that they're aware of this. This is a significant tornado. Likely losing anything on your Vinny, your Fabulous, coming up towards Nancy. Riley, take it over, Riley.
Yeah, Max, I would agree with you. Definitely significant tornado. We had problems right there.
Where are we at?
Before the storm.
Don't touch. Okay, we need to go back, get on these, and go down. We got to get to Trenton.
Yes. The original directions were
If
telling
you're in Kentucky, near Hopkinsville, near Clarksville, if you don't have to get on the roads, do not get on the roads. We have a tornado on the ground near Trenton, moving towards Russellville.
the next right is 24 East.
Significant tornado going to Somerset. Can't be in your safe place. If you're anywhere in this tornado warning, away from windows on the lowest floor possible. There's another radar site also verified. This is planning a debris signature. I mean, every radar site
The tornado is about 10 miles north
10 minutes ago where there was a local radar site indicating a tornado.
of the interstate.
Radar with our higher beams from your radar sites. The latest scan is indicating still a large tornado in progress near Fowbush coming up on Nancy. We only can hope that this thing is going to include before it gets to Somerset, because Somerset is not like a low population area.
There's Howie Truman right here.
This warning still yet to be upgraded, so this is crossing the PDS tornado threshold through National Weather's offices. We should see a PDS tornado warning at any time. At least a tornado warning. And as I remember, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's right now.
Tornado on the ground in Trenton right now. We're chasing it. We're chasing
So there are people watching Sweet right now for Somerset.
It's headed to Somerset.
So if you have friends or family in Somerset and any surrounding area in this tornado warning, please make sure that they are aware of this, as it is a significant tornado and it is producing significant damage right now, just to the west of Somerset. It's on the science bill. This is again, the southeast coast, or the southeast coast property. Down the radar site northwest, or northeast of this storm, that's also showing that. This is definitely a significant tornado right now. Going right towards Somerset, Nancy. There's a tornado warning, but keep in mind that some people, when they see tornado warning, they don't think, oh, well, maybe I should go see Joe.
It's 8.9 miles
And when you don't have
to
that
exit 1.
confirmed alert, that can definitely risk lives here. So
How many?
when they upgrade this warning,
8.9 miles.
as soon as possible. This is a significant tornado.
This tornado is still on the ground.
110 miles per hour. It's likely to be, I mean, if I had to guess, this is at least a strong tornado, if not intense. This is still looking fairly aloft, so we don't exactly know what's happening at the surface, but that debris signature is huge. I don't even know how they're going to clear the warning yet. I mean, we got a little debris ball on radar. have a debris ball on radar going right into the town of Nancy. You've got to go to Delta. I have no clue. We don't have anything on this yet. It's the National Oil Source in Jacksonville. Still not up through the road.
Let's get me to Russellville.
Instead?
Yeah. This has been a long afternoon.
Again, if you're just tuning in, this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado that is currently tracking towards Somerset and Ferguson. There's no PDS warning, there's no even confirmed warning on this, it's just a normal radar indicated tornado warning. But we know for a fact there's a tornado coming up into Somerset over the next few minutes, and it will be going to Ferguson. Let's hope it includes before then, but this is a potentially significant tornado
In
that can
9.8
be fairly
miles, take
populated
exit
area. The brief signature here is still pretty large, right about North Lake, and it's going to be moving to Nancy over the next couple minutes, and should pull one. Riley has an update, go ahead, Riley.
The tornado is off the degree, a minimum of 14,000 feet.
14,000 feet. Where is my phone?
Tornado throwing degree is right now. This is probably certainly a PDS tornado warning, if not a tornado emergency for the town of Somerset and Ferguson. We really should see an update this morning in some form for the next 5 minutes, but hopefully we get
Way down there.
This is a 5-inch tornado, probably exceeding Emerson's method.
Riley, good
It's in
update.
Bowling Green.
Yeah, I can't believe we don't at least have PDS on this. I mean, this is a significant tornado. Again, it's not
It can't be that far over already.
And unfortunately, there will be people that have no clue.
They said the storm was moving at 70 miles an hour.
I mean, honestly, like, tornado emergency isn't even possible with this either. I mean, this is a significant tornado. And I know we are still on a technically radar indicated tornado warning, but this is a...
If you're in Bowling Green,
this is going to cause, or it's already causing major damage, and that's going to continue possibly all the way to Somerset, maybe even further than that. Also, this is about to hit Nancy, and it's about to go to Nancy in the next couple of minutes. This could be hitting the Middle Springs Pizza Express building, the Rex Family Restaurant, and also there's a Kids and Care Child Development Center, and the Nancy Pharmacy that is in the immediate path of this tornado. This is about to hit a bunch of homes.
Still north of
If I
Woodville.
zoom in a little bit here, you can see the tornado is here. This is a different tornado on radar. That is a
Down
debris ball
there.
picked up on radar. So
No.
it's going to many different locations.
No.
And then Nancy, and then eventually going to Oil Center, Ringgold, and as well as Somerset. Again, I cannot believe
The
what's going on.
Tennessee is down there, and Nancy's up there.
This is a significant tornado right now coming up on Somerset.
I wonder why they have put tornado warning out on that. Because Pembroke was right here.
That Pembroke Center.
Very reminiscent of at least a significant tornado. It's strong or intense right now.
That's what I'm trying to find. Why won't this update? It can't possibly be a Bowling Green already.
Kentucky is severely understaffed, which is why going through the delayed are not being upgraded, which will explain this. Apparently, the National Oil Source of Jackson is one of the most understaffed offices. As long as it's not been upgraded, but I mean, this is a significant tornado. I mean, this is a very dangerous speed.
That is already a Bowling Green storm is flying.
And I said it was moving at 70 miles an hour.
This is not
Oh, he said it wasn't updated.
Oh, my radar not.
Yes.
Looks like he started to move through Clarksville and Hopkinsville. and already made it to Bowling Green, so everything to the west of Hopkinsville should be pretty clear.
They look at their phone real quick on the Weather Channel app and they don't have a clue what the radar unit showing them. Like, they might lose to that check, all right? But you need to make sure that if you have friends or family here, they need to be in a safe place. Just trust me, this is a significant tornado. It's causing major damage too. I mean, we still have a huge debris ball right now over the southeast side of the 8th Street. And this is actually entering the Somerset, which is a pretty populated area.
There it is, just up here.
It's a very populated area that this tornado is currently moving in.
That's how far it's moved already. Gas up.
We're heading towards Clarksville. We're coming across the state line right now. But this storm will be through here in just a few minutes. The worst of it is north of I-24. And this storm is moving extremely fast. This storm right now coming through Clarksville probably will have 40 to 60 mile an hour gusts. We literally watched it blow a street sign out of the ground in front of the Loves at Hopkinsville at I-24. So if you're in Adamsville or Adams, Tennessee, or anywhere out to the east of Bowling Green,
picking up a lot of debris. This is possibly an intense or violent tornado that's moving the Somerset over the next few minutes, assuming it stays on the ground. It's a classic looking supercell as well. It's also the spring. And again, this is our biggest concern. If any storm
you're in Portland, Tennessee, White House, this storm is headed right for you, and it has got high winds, a lot of lightning, and a lot of rain. It supposedly dropped a real quick tornado at Pembroke back near Hopkinsville. It is still tornado warned above the state line in Kentucky. The tornado he's talking about is over north of Cookville, across the Kentucky line near Somerset.
This storm currently is going through potentially RV park. And if you're RV park, if you're trailer home, if you're in the middle, you gotta get in a certain structure or get to a ditch. One of those two things. Like right now, this is significant, and an RV or a boat will not survive a tornado like you're directly hit.
In Bowling Green, Franklin, Kentucky, you need to be ready for this storm. It is tornado warned above the state line in Kentucky.
Russellville. This is mainly going to be for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, but there's a new tornado warning for potentially a QLCS tornado heading over towards Bowling Green. But in Russellville, bottom right of your screen, the winds are crazy there, and same thing over in Henry County, that's in northwestern Tennessee. So the winds are crazy with this line, and that should continue for quite some time going over towards Bowling Green. We still have a significant tornado in progress near Ecola.
So Bowling Green, Russellville, Franklin, Kentucky, you have a tornado warning for your area with this line of storms with winds up to 70 miles. Watched it rip a interstate sign out of the ground back at Love's on I-24.
A new tornado warning in northeast Kentucky for have a huge tornado right now moving to Somerset and Ferguson.
Portland, White House, Tennessee, you're going to be getting some of this storm that is part of the tornado warning in Kentucky. High winds, lots of lightning, damaging winds.
Possibly a half mile wide. This tornado could be pretty big. We're waiting to see if we get any official confirmation from any reports. Riley's keeping an eye on Twitter. If you have those reports or anything like that, you can have me on Twitter at AxelosCWX. If you see anything, come across anything about this tornado, feel free to add them. We'll obviously try to remove the reports everything.
We're going to try to cut across the Bowling Green area.
Big tornado versus Pula.
Put it back up to Bowling Green.
This tornado has not been moving super fast. Actually, this tornado is upgraded, updated. It's still radar indicated. So they updated the warning. It is still radar indicated. So they updated this warning. I just realized that. So Pulaski County, Kentucky, this is still apparently radar indicated, even though this is clearly a large tornado coming over the Ferguson.
In 2.3 miles, take exit 8 to Highway 237.
And where's that guy, Karen?
It's going to take you onto Interstate 24.
I'm on Interstate 24.
You're on Interstate 24?
Yeah.
So
It's going to have you turn around and go back.
No. Can't do that.
Can't do that?
Can't do
that is going to be confirmed. Basically, it's really the same exact area, but they have upgraded this now to officially confirm, even though this is a large tornado. Again, this does deserve credit. This still meets criteria for a PDF tornado and a tornado emergency. So this is still in that criteria, even though this is still not been upgraded to that. This is a significant tornado.
We got heavy winds out here on I-24. Whoa! We got heavy winds on I-24 going southeast back into Nashville. We've got debris all over the interstate. This same line of storms has a confirmed tornado on the ground on the Kentucky side. Lots of debris on I-24.
Shelter, basement, monster bathroom here in Ferguson or Somerset. Chance all over tornado probabilities.
Where the blue dot
Where
is.
I'm at.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was hoping this would weaken, and it's not. It's about the quality end of Super 8 by end of Somerset, the Redwood end of Somerset, Cracker Barrel on the south side of town.
We got heavy winds out here on I-24 at the Clarksville exits. The rain has not got here yet, but the wind has.
Is also in the path of this. And this is going to be hitting a lot of places here in the next few minutes. There's literally an airport too in Somerset that's in the path of this.
So we've got ahead of the line. We're trying to get up here where it's tornado warned.
Somerset or Ferguson, Kentucky. If you know anyone in Shopville, Stab, Acorn, Goodwater, Drum, any of these.
Clarksville, get ready. You're probably experiencing the winds right now.
Big tornado right now. It is not like your smaller tornado that we had a couple times earlier today. This is a large tornado that is producing significant damage right now.
We stay on
Near
here
Russellville, we do have a tornado
15 miles to
Okay.
Highway 4090.
Chattanooga, I don't know if it's going to make it all the way down to you. If it does, you're going to have storms later tonight, probably after midnight or 2 a.m. Because these storms go all the way back down to Texas. but they're going to take 3 or 4 hours to get to Chattanooga. I would say they're probably still going to be packing some wind and lightning and heavy rain.
Here's your new directions to Bowling Green without turning around.
Well, we didn't have any deaths or injuries at the tornado that we filmed up in Marion, Illinois a couple hours ago. I understand there has been some casualties up in Indiana. We currently have a PDS tornado warning just across the Tennessee line into Kentucky for Bowling Green, Russellville, Franklin. Everything south of the Tennessee-Kentucky line needs to be ready for it. Heavy winds up to 70 mile an hour plus. Lots of lightning and lots of rain.
This is a huge tornado that is hitting the town of Ferguson right now. I mean, this could break all of us literally on the south side here, Somerset, in the Ferguson community. It's only going to be like a couple of region here. There's a Chick-fil-A.
We have another tornado on the ground just north of Cookville across the Kentucky line at Somerset.
In 12 miles, we're going to go onto Highway 49 East.
Okay, that's going to go through Adams.
Please take
So is that
care
gonna put me ahead?
And then from Russellville, we go to Bowling Green.
Wow. Y'all don't get a lot of bad weather over there. Not with rotation anyway. Every storm today that's had rotation in it has just about dropped a tornado here in the United States. We're actually on dry highway right now. This is the first time we've been on dry highway since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And we've got a line of storms coming in behind us that are pretty severe.
Gambler is asking about Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't think these storms will be quite as severe when they get to Chattanooga, but I think you're still going to get wind and rain and lightning and thunder. These up at Cape Girardeau in southern Illinois and southern Indiana and Kentucky, they've been dropping tornadoes all afternoon, as well as up in Indiana. They actually started an hour or two earlier than we expected today. You know, the Wisconsin and Minnesota has had more bad weather this year, early in the year, particularly Wisconsin and Michigan, than y'all have had in many, many years. Even back in, when it was early spring, when y'all shouldn't even be getting any bad weather, y'all were getting tornadoes up that way. This has been since we're in a La Nina year, this has been a really strange storm season, at least since I've been chasing. They haven't been generally where they normally have been. Now we'll be out in Oklahoma and Nebraska and northern Texas Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but I think we've had more over this way in Tennessee and Kentucky than we have in past years. not subscribed to my channel, be sure you subscribe and go back when the video is available. We actually were able to film the tornado in Marion, Illinois as it came out of the supercell and touched down. But literally within a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it got wrapped in rain, and you couldn't see it. But you can see just how fast a tornado could drop and get rain wrapped to where you can't see it. By the time we got down to Creole Springs, where it crossed, and I think we were the first ones into that area, it probably had a half-a-mile debris path. I know we had 2 houses totally off their foundations and gone, and another 6 or 7 with major damage just at the location where it passed on Highway 166. Not one injury, we were told. When we pulled up and asked anybody if they needed help, they said everybody was okay. They were very, very lucky. The telephone poles in that area were like 2 or 3 times the thickness of a normal telephone pole. It clipped them at the ground level. They were literally broke at ground level. I've never seen that. That's over at Somerset.
Yeah, they extended the warning on that one.
We still have a tornado warning on that storm south, going just south of Bowling Green, headed towards Franklin, Kentucky and Russellville. All of central Tennessee needs to be ready for this line of storms as it comes through. It won't be quite as intense as it was back in Paducah and Hopkinsville, but it's still going to be a strong line of storms when it gets to central Tennessee and eastern Kentucky and eastern Tennessee. However, we do have a large tornado on the ground north of Cookeville, on the Kentucky side near Somerset, on the ground, and it's been on the ground for a while. How long from supposed to get up?
3.6 miles.
And how far am I away from Bowling Green?
From Bowling Green, 64 miles.
Okay. So I'm going to be in front of it.
It says a 24 there.
Where am I going to come out on that? If I take a left, where am I going to come out?
If you take a left,
Well, if I follow that, where is it going to take me to?
that's going to take you to Russellville, then to Bowling Green. Okay, this storm's already in Russellville. Scottsville, you need to be ready. Franklin, Woodburn, all of you need to be ready for this line of severe storms that are tornado warned in Kentucky. I think Scottsville got hit earlier today from the first lines. should be dropping this tornado warning in Kentucky, south of Bowling Green, just any minute. Not doing it. Not doing it. Russellville, Scottsville, Woodburn, you're getting, Russellville's getting hit now with that line of storms. Scottsville, you're next, and Woodburn, and then Franklin, and then it's going to move on off to the west, to the east.
That was incident.
Then go.
I missed it.
I'm afraid Somerset's getting hit pretty hard. The camera that was at the hospital, we understand, has went offline in Kentucky. Springfield, Tennessee, you should be getting hit by this line of storms right now. These storms are actually moving to the southeast, which is kind of unusual. What is this truck doing? This line of storms will be at Gallatin and Hendersonville within the next 15 to 20 minutes. We're just ahead of it, coming into Tennessee.
this line of storms enters Tennessee, it's weakening pretty quick. As it moves off to the east and southeast, mostly south. At least I don't see any supercells out there. I can tell you these storms were very intense over in southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Paducah and West Tennessee area when they came through. The one storm that's out in front of the line that's over, it's past Somerset now, headed to Corbin, Kentucky. They're still pretty convinced that that tornado is still on the ground over there. If there's anybody east of Somerset in that area of Kentucky, they've still got a tornado warning on that cell that's in front of this line that apparently has dropped a tornado long track. Wow, it's already made it to London. London and Corbin, Kentucky, you need to be aware you've got a tornado warning that had a confirmed tornado on the ground. And as far as Kentucky, here in Middle Tennessee, Middle Kentucky, they've just extended your tornado warning. Going towards Scottsville and Red Bowling Springs, they just extended that tornado warning into Red Bowling Springs and Scottsville. So they're still pretty convinced they've got some circulation still in that line of storms. Or it could be for the straight line winds that are said to be 70 to 90 mile an hour. Tell you, these storm cells that's been out in front of this line today, they've looked wicked. Now when they came through Marion, Illinois, when we started filming it, boy, you could just see the circulation in it.
long it's going to take for YouTube to process and compress that video from earlier or late this afternoon on that Marion tornado, but as soon as it's available, that is probably one of the best live feeds that we had since last summer.
Something about the debris and it's not going up anytime soon.
They said they were reporting debris before it got to Somerset, tens of thousands of feet up in the air. These storms that came through today, there was no cap. We had dew points in the 70s. We had Cape of 3,000 to 4,000 joules. That's something you see when you see EF3, EF4 long track tornadoes dropping. And that's what we saw all day.
About what time is that tornado?
Good question. We'll be able to tell you in just a second because we took some still shots of it with one of our other cameras that'll give us the exact time.
It was at 6:19 p.m. I took pictures.
It was 6:19, 6:20 Central Time in the United States. Wow, this ain't that storm going into Corbin in London, Kentucky. Boy, you can still see the debris cloud on radar. They say the winds are being estimated on radar at 150 plus miles per hour. I'll tell you that cell that came through Marion, Illinois had the weirdest. You could see a definitive line between the low-level streamwise vorticity current that was rolling across the bottom of the cell and the high upper lift, and then all we had to do was focus in on the point where they came together, and that's exactly where it dropped the tornado at. No, it was a wedge. It actually came down as a wedge. There was no ramp up to it at all. It literally dropped as a wedge, and within just a minute and a half, literally got wrapped up in the rain, or pulled the rain down into it, one of the two. But while we could see the wedge, all of a sudden it disappeared, and you really had to look. We were just lucky enough that I kept going in the direction of the tornado,
and we literally drove right up on its path in Creel Springs, just literally a minute or two after it passed. That was a lot of damage, and we've got the damage. We filmed it on that stream, so you'll be able to see it. I was actually worried we were going to have a lot of injuries when I first pulled up, because there was just so much damage to all the houses there. And one, and it may have been a trailer, but one was totally, might have been two, totally off their foundations, and there was nothing left. All the debris was scattered all the way down the hill to the road.
What house was that?
Yeah, a lot of outbuildings were actually down in the ditch. They took a direct hit. The telephone poles there were probably 3 or 4 times a normal telephone pole's thickness. I mean, they were huge telephone poles. Broke off right at the ground. I mean, literally right at the ground. I've never seen that. They look pretty new too. Yeah, that tornado that's past Somerset should be hitting London, Kentucky just any minute. So if there's anybody in London, Kentucky, or even east of London, Kentucky, you need to be in your safe place right now, because it's going to be hitting London, Kentucky just any minute.
Someone's thinking you figured out what the gas station.
All right, let me see which way I want to go here. I just missed mine. Turn. All right. From here, if I went north, need to turn around. You go north. Alright, so we'll get off right down here. We'll get off right down here, make a U-turn, and go back to the north. So White House, Portland, Hendersonville, Gallatin, you're already getting ready to get hit with this line of storms. So that's downtown Nashville directly in front of me. We're gonna get off here and make a U-turn and go back to the north, but that's downtown city of Nashville, right there. We're gonna head back to the north here.
No.
What you want to hear? Hopefully that is not what happens, and hopefully they still are there, because this is obviously a very dangerous
No.
tornado. And the magnitude of this is just it's insane. I mean, again, this could be we think this is a violent tornado right now moving to London. This is going to be a major tornado moving into the city of London, Kentucky. And I can't stress this enough, but this is just it's major. It's a huge tornado.
Yes, I'm getting ready to make a U-turn, and we're going to drive right straight back into the line that's coming through Kentucky. It'll be crossing the Tennessee-Kentucky line here in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to go right back into it as soon as I can get through this light.
And we literally have a debris signature on radar right here.
So we're actually going to go up towards where this tornado warning is coming into Red Bull and Springs area.
Right now it's going through a lot of trees, I think, but it will in the next few minutes or so head into a more populated area where it's literally hitting a bunch of homes and buildings. So mean, this is only going to continue
Man, this lot is long.
to be significant.
I hope it changes soon.
It will. It's turning yellow on that side.
Still showing an intense to violent tornado right now moving into London. Hopefully everybody in London's in their safe place right now. Again, if you're not already in London, Kentucky, you need to be there.
Yeah, I don't like being in the cities when any storms come through, especially when you're out driving, because people drive, they, they drive crazy enough when it's not raining.
4 miles. Now, a lot of this is debris falling onto the north. That's all debris falling right there. This is the actual tornado mainly.
Man, I tell you, that debris field on that tornado in Kentucky is huge. Up towards White House where this line of severe storms are going to come through. We'll probably be able to make it to White House. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to Portland before they hit. But they're going to cross I-65 up here. Looks like in about 10 minutes, if that long. I can't believe that tornado is still on the ground and it's going through London, Kentucky now.
According to Lisa, this is the most recent video you have, right? This is like the most recent one. And just by looking at it, I mean, this is not like, it's not huge. You can see the motion of this thing. It's I mean, you can only see the motion because, I mean, anytime there's like a lightning, but you have to assume it's not some really violent motion from that debris that's being launched up in the atmosphere.
I am.
systems and many other tools and methods this way are nearly
That's how the general public normally identifies us. I generally just like, I don't do it because of the thrill of the adrenaline, but I do like being able to capture storm events, regardless of what they are. So I basically kind of consider us doing video documentaries, because I share my videos regardless of what they are with the university systems that study severe weather. So like today, the way that particular tornado in Marion formed was a little bit different than what I've seen elsewhere. So we'll certainly make that available. I know the Weather Service has already asked us for our video, and we'll be providing that both to St. Louis and Western Kentucky, Paducah Weather Services, as well as the systems that are studying severe weather. The way that streamwise vorticity current was moving across the bottom of the supercell into and I don't even know how to describe it, but it didn't form the typical way we would have expected it to. And I just happened to turn the car to film where it dropped, because I figured that might have been where it was going to drop, because we really didn't have a wall cloud. And without a wall cloud, you got to figure out where it's going to drop at. And while the whole cell was close to the ground, that formed, you'd have to watch the video to see it, but it formed a totally different way than I would normally have expected to have seen a tornado come out of it. But for some reason, we just knew it was going to be at that location, to where that streamwise vorticity current, which spins counterclockwise, was feeding horizontally into an area of the storm that had a definitive dividing line in it, coming all the way across the front of that storm. It just seemed the perfect spot for that tornado to drop, and that's exactly where it dropped. Generally, that streamwise vorticity current is the cold air from the front outflow feeding back into the rear of the storm, where you'd see the tornado drop. We were able to film that last year in Iowa on a much larger scale, but it was actually the horizontal current was on the ground, not actually up at the bottom of the cell. And generally you would see that vorticity current feeding back into the rear of the storm, where the tornado would form on the ground. But today it was actually at the bottom of the cell. You just have to watch that one, and you may have to watch it a couple of times and just notice how that bottom, and you'll see it, it's very definitive, spinning at the bottom of the cell wall, feeding into a definitive line across the front, and that's where it dropped the tornado. In Kentucky?
No, if we're from Kentucky.
No, I'm actually originally from Pensacola. I used to be a county EMS director down there, and then I moved to Louisville a couple of years to run a big ambulance service in Kentucky, and then back to Nashville to run a big one there. I was with emergency management in Florida for hurricane response, but I'm based in Nashville now. I know you can't tell by the southern accent.
Hey, this thing will keep going, which means there's nothing slowing down. We've talked about this for a while. This really not slowing this thing down. Assuming this tornado
Really?
will continue for a long period of time. We know it's years. Just northwest
Well, Tallahassee got hit pretty hard here not long ago. I believe y'all had a tornado in Tallahassee, didn't you?
So, I'm not saying it's going to go that long. I do think at some point.
This ain't Florida accent. This is L.A. I was from Pensacola. Alabama's been trying to annex the panhandle of Florida for 50 years. So I tell everybody I'm from L.A., Lower Alabama. Basically the panhandle of Florida. Panhandle of Florida is totally, well, and Tallahassee too, all that's totally different from Orlando South. People don't realize that from Pensacola to Miami is almost 1,300 miles.
It's going to be for Clarendon, Holy Grove near Route 49. Rotation right now is right here, moving over Highway 86 and then towards Highway 49. Morrow and Aubrey and Marion will eventually be the path of this. So seek shelter if you're in that tornado warning.
Yeah, New England, when I had to do some work in New England putting in some cancer programs, they said, we just think you've got the cutest southern accent. I said, what accent? I said, I think y'all have got an accent. You forgot to put your R's in all your words. All right, we're going to get down here and find a good place. This line of storms is going to come through here in a minute. So London, Kentucky's getting hit by that tornado right now. So we're gonna get up here on the ridge, what we call the ridge above Nashville. Supposedly, a million years ago, there was a big lake in the middle of Tennessee, and we've got a rim all the way around middle Tennessee. So we're going to get up here on the hill. I can see the lightning beginning to get close and get a good spot so that we can get in front of this line as it comes through. Because I'm curious myself of just how strong this line still is as it moves into Tennessee. So we're going to be pretty close to the Tennessee-Kentucky border up here. Man, that tornado is still on the ground over there. Up here on the ridge now. I'm going to find a good place. It seems like it's going to be pretty intense. The wind's picking up. The lightning's getting more frequent. So this is going to be the White House area, Portland, Tennessee. Y'all getting ready to get hit by this line of storms. Then it's going to move into Gallatin, Hendersonville, then down towards Nashville, Murfreesboro, Shelbyville, and into the rest of Middle Tennessee as it moves off to the east, southeast. got some pretty good wind inside of it. Read.
I'm amazed at how long this tornado from Somerset and how due south of London, how now south of London, Kentucky has kept on and so strong.
Over an hour. I just heard him say over an hour. Apparently it's still going strong. Oh, Somerset's getting ready to get hit again.
Oh, a new tornado's going towards us. A new supercell is going over from the new tornado.
I don't know if y'all can hear that wind blowing over the top of the vehicle, but this line of storms has still got a lot of wind with it. We got a lot of small limb and leaf debris all over the interstate here on I-65. Pretty close back up to the Tennessee-Kentucky border. We'll try to find a good place up here. Okay, we're back up to 40 or 50 mile an hour gusts across the interstate here. This line of storms is still packing the punch. So we're in an area of Tennessee called White House on I-65. Lots of lightning, lots of rain, and the wind's gusting probably 40 to 50 right now where we're at.
Sirius says that cell that moved out of Clarksville headed toward Nashville has strengthened significantly.
Whoa, look at here.
That looked like a power flash, he said.
Look at the wind blowing that rain across the highway. Whoa! Yep, this line of storms is still pretty intense. So, Gallatin, White House is experiencing it right now, but Gallatin and Murfreesboro and Mount Juliet, all those areas to the south and southeast, get ready. This is going to be a pretty powerful storm. Look at that wind blowing that rain across the road. Look at that. I'm surprised they don't have, I know these have severe thunderstorm warnings on them, but boy, this wind is really blowing out here. We're down to about 40 mile an hour on the interstate. Look at that.
Is it weird? It gets dark all of a sudden here.
I don't know if the power's out right here where we're at or whether it's just a lot of trees. And we don't see any lights on either side of the road. There's a good possibility the power is actually out in our location right now. This is a heavy populated area, and I don't see any lights in any houses out to the right or the left. Man, oh man. I am very shocked that this line of storms has still got this much energy left in them. And again, we still have not seen any lights on either side of the interstate. And this is a heavily populated area up here. So we may have some power outages. There was a blue flash. Okay, if that was a blue flash, we probably do have power out up here.
It looks like the next picture is going to be one. It's going to be a little while before you
Right here. Actually 112.
Oh, we're already at 112?
Yes. Yeah, we don't see any lights. We've got a power outage here. This exit here at White House, we should be seeing lots and lots of lights.
Are we going to get on here?
Yeah. I saw some blue flashes of light. It generally means that they've got power. It is a couple of transformers. Yeah, even the interstate lights are out. The signs on the interstate that cautions you about traffic wrecks and weather is out. So we got a major power outage up here near the Tennessee-Kentucky state line in the White House area.
Yes, the lightning is beautiful.
We should be seeing lights right here. We don't see any lights at any houses or anything. We got a major power outage. Yeah, there's a gas station right there, so the gas station has no. I'll go down here and so this is a major exit. Goes into Springfield area, but there is absolutely no power here. Yeah, we got major power outage here.
Yeah, we have enough gas for now.
Yeah, I made that mistake last year in Nebraska. I won't make it the second time. If it hadn't have been for somebody on the live feed looking up a gas station that kept its pumps on after 10, we might still be in the far western part of Nebraska. So we don't do that. Not anymore, anyway. And when we do go out west this weekend, I've got a 2-gallon tank. I never fill it unless we're going into an area that's going to be really remote. I always worry about the car getting hit by lightning and having 2 gallons of gas sitting up there on top. But if we're going into an area really remote, and there's areas you can go 100, 125 miles and not see a gas station, we fill it up. And then when we leave that area, we put it in the car, and I don't keep gas up on top. I can't believe that tornado over in London is still active. And they've got a major. So all of this in front of us that you see that's dark, there's 2 gas stations right here at this exit. This is a big fireworks gas station right in front of us. This place is generally totally lit up, and we must have a major power outage.
He's asking for going west tomorrow.
We are. We will be heading to Oklahoma, Nebraska, and northern Texas. We'll be out there. Well, we'll be out there as soon as we can get out there, because they've got 2 out of 3 right now in Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. So tonight we'll rest up a little bit, and then we'll head out there, and we'll be out there all day tomorrow afternoon. Well, we'll be in Arkansas at least by tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll be in Oklahoma, North Texas, Nebraska Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with the severe weather out there. I tell you, if Nashville gets hit with what we just drove through, they're going to have power outages. So, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, Franklin, Brentwood, all this is headed your way in the next 30 minutes. And it's got a lot of wind, a lot of lightning. We're in White House near Portland. No power. These cloud-to-ground lightning flashes apparently have took out some transformers. We saw some blue lights as we came in, ground level. So I'm sure it blew some transformers out here. Man, that storm is flying across Kentucky. Much easier to chase out there than it was in southern Illinois and Kentucky and Tennessee today. I haven't heard how many. I hate to hear that they had a bunch of fatalities up in Indiana with those tornadoes that hit those really populated areas up there. We haven't been able to hear anything out of that area yet. We were so tied up in Marion with that tornado, and then running up on the debris path where it hit all those houses down in Creole Springs, Illinois. Those poor people got major damage. There probably wasn't one house there that anybody could have lived in. There was 8 or 10 houses. I don't think any of them anybody could have stayed in tonight. If they didn't have total roofs gone or total destruction, they had trees in the roofs that made them unsafe. I tell you, I have not posted the videos from Texas from a week and a half ago, but those storms we were in Seymour and Mundy, Texas, as I told the Weather Service, when I called them to report how bad the weather was, I compared it to driving through a Category 3 hurricane. Those two supercells pinned us between them, and that was probably, if I was going to call anything a close call that we would have got caught in something bad and not be able to get out, that was probably one of the top 5. Supercell developed south of us, blocked all the storm chasers' emergency route out to the south and east, and basically squeezed us all right in the middle. But the video that we have is, I lost my live feed, but the video that we took, we got about 270 degree coverage around the car. When I download it and get it edited to post, that's going to be pretty intensive storms. Even the structure of them was so big and covered so much area. Anyway, it's going to be a good video when I post it. And I thought I had got south of it enough that we wasn't going to get into any of the hail or bad wind or storm, but it was the southern supercell that just blew up out of nowhere that caught us by surprise. We even got a transformer exploding. I just moved out of an intersection because there was too many power lines over us, and we hadn't moved 100 feet, and the transformer where we were parked exploded, and you can literally see the explosive light all the way around the car as we were pulling away from those power lines. Pretty intense 45 minutes. People tell me, they said, oh, you're from Florida, you ought to be used to these tornado storms and all. But as you know, we know 2 weeks in advance they're coming. We got everybody evacuated before it gets there, and all we do is hunker down and wait till it's over with. These tornadoes, if you're not looking right at them when they drop, you don't know where they're going to come down at and how big they're going to be. And if you're out of the way of them or not, because we've had some trying to form right over the top of us. Sometimes we have to stop and look out the windows because our cameras and our windshield are at 170 degrees. So since we've got them mounted right up against the windshield, they're basically looking at the sky above us of things we can't see. And sometimes we see stuff we don't want to see up there.
Oh my gosh, poor London just got another tornado warning.
I tell you, Eastern Kentucky is getting slammed. They just put out another tornado warning for London, and London just had that other tornado come through. These are still discrete supercells in front of this line of storms. The line of storms hadn't even made it to Somerset or to London yet.
Look at that hill cliff developing over London.
Wow. So we've got a new mesoscale discussion. There's so much rain coming into the Ohio and Tennessee Valley. They're getting ready to put up flash flood warnings. Yeah, that's interesting about the understaffing of the National Weather Service. We had to call St. Louis when we were in Illinois at that tornado. I could not get Western Kentucky's weather service on the phone, and St. Louis told me that they're so understaffed in Paducah, Kentucky, and Jackson, Tennessee, that they probably wasn't going to be answering the phones at all. So they took our information and conveyed it to them, and we told them, I said, just tell them we'll get them the video tomorrow. They done got another tornado warning out to the west of Somerset. That whole area over in eastern Kentucky is just going to get slammed tonight.
He just said that that's Russell Springs.
Yeah, that's northeast of Cookville. That's northeast of Jamestown. So those in Chattanooga, you're still under the tornado watch. They've got all of Tennessee now under tornado watch. I don't know if y'all heard that. They're saying that supercell that's got that tornado on the ground that just went through London could be another hour before that supercell starts losing its strength.
A large and extremely dangerous tornado is in progress here near Squibb, west of London. Again, another one. There's another large tornado in progress. This in Clay, Jackson, Pulaski, Laurel, and Rockcastle counties. You need to seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible.
Well, I tell you, that's a hard area to storm chase. Matter of fact, we made an agreement we would not go back into eastern Kentucky and the Appalachians to chase storms after our last trip over there. You just can't see around those mountains enough to see what you may be driving into.
So yet again, another tornado heading into London, just west of Manchester here over the next little while. Many of you that are probably, if you're tuning in from any of these tornado warnings, I mean, at this point, you already know the drill, hopefully, but if you don't...
Yeah, be sure to check back. We're going to have, be sure to look at that stream that we did this afternoon. We started at about 5 something, so it should be a little over 2 hours long, give or take. And you'll get to see that tornado and that supercell. It's pretty impressive. I can't wait to actually watch it myself. But yeah, jump back in. We're going to be here all weekend. I've got 3 more solid weeks of chasing storms. Y'all have a good night. Whoa! We still got some lightning, powerful lightning coming in on the back side of this.
That's wild.
I tell you, I feel those folks in eastern Kentucky, if you're over there and listening, you got to just stay in your safe place. Y'all got, after the first tornadoes come through, now y'all got another tornado coming through. Emergency services has had to shelter in place and can't even respond right now.
Crazy. We don't have a CC drop on this Manchester storm. That's clear air contamination. But we had a tornado being one of these two areas.
If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. And you've got to see that live stream we shot today of that tornado coming out of that cloud in southern Illinois and touching down. And we were the first down into Creole Springs after it passed through about a minute ahead of us. We were chasing it. It got rain wrapped. And we chased it down into Oreo Springs, Illinois. And those poor people, it was probably a half a mile wide when it come through there. And I'm just thankful not one injury. As many houses as got totally destroyed or majorly destroyed. No injuries and no deaths. Those people were extremely lucky. But as soon as that live stream we shot today, we lost our live stream. Is the only reason we had to do another one. But we lost our live stream. We had no cell coverage down there. I think we got enough of the damage path and damage area before we lost our live stream. I think what happened is once the tornado passed through that area, because we were there literally within a minute or two after it came through. I mean, it just happened. It must have took out a cell tower down the line somewhere, and when that cell tower went down, then we lost our live lead. But when YouTube finishes processing it and compressing the video and makes it back available for the public to be able to see, you really need to go back and look at that. That was a pretty impressive tornado. He came down as a wedge directly out of the supercell, and when it got on the ground, it was huge.
Leslie, Jackson, and Letcher counties here in Kentucky. As I mentioned before, again, from what we're seeing on radar, there's nothing confirmed on the ground right now. This is more of a preemptive tornado warning. We've had a lot of these today, where there essentially is not a tornado, but if one drops...
Also, we'll be chasing the next 3 weeks pretty solidly, and we'll be in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, northern Texas, tomorrow afternoon, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And right now we don't know what's going to play out after that, but if there's more storms, we'll be there. And if you hit the notification, you'll be notified when we go live.
your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom.
So where we're sitting at now, if you're just joining us, all the power north of Nashville in White House area, and Portland, and I believe North Hendersonville, all the power's out. We saw a couple of flashes of blue flash, like transformers blowing up, and there was a lot of lightning going on at the time. So that's why it's so dark where we're at. We're actually looking at a big gas station that should be totally lit up. It's a 24-hour gas station, and there's not a light out here.
The line of storms is starting to catch up a little bit to this discrete supercell, but this discrete supercell still a bit further down to the south. So there should still be a tornado threat.
And we noticed that about, I don't know, 10 miles south of here, there was absolutely no power. We saw no lights on either side of the interstate. And this is a pretty heavily populated area north of Nashville, near the Kentucky border.
Again, we think that there could be an intense tornado, possibly. We don't know for sure, but there may be, if there is a tornado, it could be strong or intense, just off to the west here of London. It's going to be coming up into Pittsburgh and London, and also crossing over I-75 over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe in your safe place again if you're in this tornado warning. Very dangerous storm still moving to the east. They've just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Somerset in this entire area for 7.
So I think this line has just about got past us. So what we're going to do, the way it's lined up, we're going to ease back towards Nashville, Tennessee, and we should be coming in up on the back side of this storm, and we should be able to catch the back lightning of this storm as it comes through. But all the power here is out. All these gas stations here at this exit on I-65, there is absolutely no power. Where did I get on that?
Very highly populated areas, and I know this isn't like
I can't see.
St. Louis here, but like we still have
You gotta wait for that car to get past so you could turn on your light.
like just generally in this area, like this entire stretch, there's at least 100,000.
There we go. That's why we put spotlights on this car. So this line of storms now is moving through Middle Tennessee from the northwest down to the southeast. It's only going to last about 30 or 45 minutes, but it's going to be pretty intense. So if you're downstream from Nashville, you're in Murfreesboro, Shelbyville, Mount Juliet, Lebanon there. If it does, it's going to be early in the morning, 3 a.m. Whoa. I don't know if you missed that lightning strike, but that's what we're going to see coming in on the back side of this storm line. Going to be driving back through this line of storms. The wind's picking back up. It's not moving very fast, but it still has a lot of wind and lightning and rain in it. We just saw a mesoscale discussion that there's so much rain coming down in the Ohio and Tennessee Valley, they're going to probably put up flash flood warnings here if they haven't already. if you haven't been keeping up, eastern Kentucky, Somerset and London, Kentucky has been hit by at least one, possibly two tornadoes back to back over the last hour. And apparently there's major damage over that way. Been a long day. If you're just joining, we will have a video that'll be available on YouTube at least by morning. We were able to capture that tornado in Marion, Illinois as it came out of the supercell and touched ground. We also chased it until we got to Creel Springs, where they took a heavy damage. It was probably a half a mile wide, and we're just lucky there was no injuries and no fatalities, but 8 or 10 heavily damaged houses, 2 that was possibly trailers, were totally destroyed. You can see where they were sitting, but there was nothing left to identify them as home. I know none of them, they were so damaged, none of them could, we don't think any of them could have been occupied tonight. And while they were trying to recover from getting hit, another storm come right over the top of them loaded with pea-size hail. So that video will be available by morning, and you should be able to, you certainly want, I'm actually looking forward to going back and looking at it myself. That was a really strange looking supercell, and how it developed that tornado out of the bottom of it as fast as it did, and from a place that I really wouldn't have expected to come out of. If you haven't experienced this line of storms yet, a lot of lightning, a lot of wind, a lot of thunder, some hail, but not near as much as earlier today, if any. The line is weakening into just a line of severe thunderstorms. But you're going to know it comes through. It's going to last about a half an hour, 45 minutes. Apparently Somerset, Kentucky got hit pretty hard by at least one tornado, but we know there was a second one that was supposed to be going through there right behind the first one. But we understand they've got a lot of damage in Somerset, Kentucky, over to London, Kentucky. But this is exactly expected today based on the information that the National Severe Forecast Center was putting out. I tell you what really amazed me of all the things we saw today is how fast the tornado in Marion, Illinois became rain wrapped after it touched down. It was almost like within 2 minutes or less it pulled rain down out of that supercell and wrapped itself in it to where you couldn't see the tornado at that point. And we just had to follow the clouds that we saw, and that would identify where the tornado might still be. And that's how we were able to happen up on the debris path where it hit all the houses in Creel Springs, Illinois. They've got heavy damage down there. But at least nobody was hurt. I'm very surprised somebody didn't get hurt or killed after seeing how bad the houses were destroyed. We'll be chasing all weekend. We're actually tonight, once we rest up a little bit, and we're going to have to grab dinner even though it's this late at night. Once we get rested up, we'll be headed into Arkansas for tomorrow and Oklahoma. And then we'll be in Oklahoma, Nebraska, and North Texas Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. They're supposed to have a huge bunch of severe storm outbreaks starting tomorrow night, but especially Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification. When we go live, it's generally something's getting ready to happen. We don't want to bore you with just driving down the highway and sunny blue skies. So when we go live, generally something's getting ready to happen. And you'll get notified not only when we go live, but we've got a lot of videotapes from the severe weather that we've been chasing all spring that I'll be uploading over the next few weeks and months as we get it edited. And you'll get notifications when those videos are posted. Again, this line of storms is still ongoing. Still tornado warnings out in eastern Kentucky. Somerset and London has been hit pretty hard, I understand. We haven't heard the information out of Indiana yet, but I understand they had fatalities in Indiana from their tornadoes today. Those were ongoing while we were tied up with ours in southern Illinois, so we just haven't heard or had a chance to find out how bad those tornadoes were, but we understand they were pretty bad as well. We know search and rescue efforts are still ongoing in Somerset and London from all the storms they've had over the last hour. I mean, they have just literally been back-to-back tornado warnings there. We know at least one tornado for sure touched down.
What worries me is the camera that was at the hospital in Somerset went offline, and being somebody that works at a hospital, I can imagine what they're going through over there. So that's something that we always dread, but we have a plan for at the hospital if we think we're going to get a direct hit. But you're never really prepared for that kind of stuff. But there's power down this way, so the power outage must just be up north of here, but it covers about a 10-mile area that we drove through that there's absolutely no lights anywhere. Personally, I just want to dry off. I've been out in the rain off and on for the last 6 hours, either helping to check, do some search and rescue at where those houses got hit up in Illinois, or notifying every law enforcement person I come across, because sometimes they don't have the information. Or like up in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, on the west side of the state, I let the highway patrolman there know that there was an ongoing tornado back over in Somerset, because they have complete state communications, and there's only a few of them working at a time at night. So I knew they'd radio over and let their colleagues on the other side of the state know there was a tornado on the ground. And we actually do that a lot. We've actually passed some highway patrolmen on the interstate and had to roll the window down and kind of do a tornado loop with our hand to let them know there's a tornado on the ground in the direction that we're going. And once they realize who we are, then it only takes a minute or so for them to call dispatch and find out where the tornado's at. And then they generally end up passing us and going to the scene. I'd say most of the lightning in this line of storms is cloud to ground. We haven't seen much cloud to cloud lightning at all today. If you subscribe to the channel or go look at our channel, you need to see that lightning strike we caught in Texas about a week and a half ago, just outside of Killeen in Waco. Probably the most dramatic lightning strike we've ever caught on video. Whatever it was that hit was at least one transformer, and then I'm assuming it could have been a power station, but whatever it was blew up just seconds after the lightning strike. And then we went back and we played it for you in slow motion so you'd be able to see. It was actually two lightning strikes in the same place, or a lightning pulse, I'd call it. Then you'll see the explosion. Pretty dramatic. And that was we just happened to have all the cameras going driving down the interstate when we caught that on our way to get in front of another supercell. So we're on I-65 southbound into Middle Tennessee, coming into the city of Nashville here in a minute. And this is that line of storms that has been coming through all afternoon, formed over in Missouri and Arkansas, and it's just been slowly moving through. I mean, these have been moving slow, except for a couple of individual cells that were out in front of this line of storms that was probably moving somewhere between 40 and 50 miles an hour.
Otherwise, the line itself has moved pretty slow since it formed. I'm not sure exactly how many tornadoes we had today, but I would say probably over a dozen, maybe even more than that. I just don't know how many Indiana had while we were tied up on the one there in Marion, Illinois. But I understand they might have had 3 or 4 or more in Indiana. Kentucky has had several today. Illinois has had a couple. I know Missouri had 2 or 3. I'm not sure if there was any in Tennessee, but it's been a long day. That can't be right.
That is right.
Well, they just put out, here I think it's all winding down, they just put out a tornado warning outside Poplar Bluff, Arkansas. Where's that head to, Clarksville?
Yeah.
That's actually going to head into Mississippi. But I know they've had tornado warnings out in North Texas today. And they just put this tornado warning out east of Poplar Bluff, and it's headed into Clarksdale, Mississippi. So there's still a lot of energy in this line of storm. That's blue flag. What was it? It looked like a blue flag. So if you're in Paris and Dixon, Tennessee, Franklin, Fairview, you're getting ready to get hit by this line of storms.
We didn't talk about it enough earlier, but we did show their tornado on screen, and there was actually reports of a man who got hit by the tornado. He got it sounds like this dude basically got up and walked off the tornado, probably the wrong one. And like, you know what? I think that is something that happens.
So we're probably going to wind this down as we get here into the city of Nashville. The storms in Middle Tennessee, while still strong, are not severe. May have lightning and a little bit of wind, but most of the severe storms are either up in Kentucky, moving over to Virginia, or they've just wound down to a line of linear storms. Nothing like it was 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. I tell you, we've seen more fire trucks in the last few minutes.
I know. I wonder if they're all going toward White House.
I don't know. So this line's currently moving through Middle Tennessee. We're just north of Nashville. Out to the west, Dixon and Fairview and Centerville's getting ready to get hit with some pretty strong storms, but I don't think they're severe warned. And then this should be through Middle Tennessee, headed down toward Knoxville and Chattanooga here in the next 15-20 minutes. The line's only lasting about 30 or 45 minutes from the beginning to the back side of it. And there's no individual cells that we're aware of forming inside this line that would be tornadic for Tennessee. Once we rest up tonight and get something to eat, we'll be headed out to Arkansas before daylight and Oklahoma City. Downtown, we're in downtown Nashville now. It's over to our right side. This is about as bad as it's going to get. Most of it's already moved through. Middle Tennessee, or we'll finish moving through in the next half an hour or so. And the rest of it will be headed out to the east and southeast over the next few hours. I don't know how far south it'll make it before it just turns into nothing but a rain event and rains itself out. But at least it's nowhere near as severe as it was this afternoon. And particularly when all the tornadoes started breaking out around 5, we've just got to go back and that video should be available of Marion, Illinois before daylight. So if you get a chance tomorrow, be sure to look at the video we shot in Marion, Illinois of the touchdown and subsequent damage field that we drove up on. I think we were the first ones there. I told you that was a blue light. I bet something blew up a while ago. Anyway, that was pretty intense, and the supercell was pretty intense. Certainly not exactly what we would have expected, or where we would have expected the tornado to have formed in that storm. So you certainly want to get a watch that video. That should be a pretty good video when it's available for viewing. The only reason you have to wait is we lost our live feed. So when we lost the live feed, we believe because the cell tower was taken down in the area that we were in, where the damage was, it automatically started being processed and compressed by YouTube before we could pull any video off of it. So as soon as that's completed, you'll see it on our channel. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications so you'll see it when it's available to view. And that's going to be a really good video for us. I know it was on the live stream. So I think what we're going to do, we're through Nashville now. We're on the south side. We're going to rest up a little bit down around Franklin, get some grub in us, rest up, and we will be headed into Arkansas and the storms that's supposed to develop there and in Oklahoma tomorrow. And so we may be live again tomorrow afternoon, but certainly Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday when the storms are supposed to turn severe. And we'll be mostly in North Texas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma. So appreciate everybody dropping in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to see us when we go live or post our videos. I've got many hours of videos we got to edit and post. And particularly when we go live over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be chasing pretty solid. And we'll be live almost every day if there's something going on. So good night. Enjoyed it. See you next time.